Happy Tuesday. It's the Jam Nation podcast with Jonesy and Amanda.
Have you lost your child's toy and you've lost your mind? You think, what is going to happen? My kid's going to scream the house down or the airport down or grandma's house down until I can find a replacement. Well, there's a little boy who lost his teddy bear on a plane. He has been reunited with us, but it triggered all of us.
The tribal drum will beat. I'm a slave to my kid's stupid toy.
We put Dave Warner to the pub test.
Yeah.
Should he be dropped from the team or should he still be in there?
What about Chris Masters? He's written a book about Ben Roberts-Smith. Are there any questions?
Well, we put a few to him, that's for sure.
Speaking of questions, Tom Cruise banning Pete Overton from the red carpet premiere of his movie.
We do a deep dive.
That's all coming up on the Jam Nation podcast.
Everybody online.
Right now, by the miracle of recording, we had so many requests for them to do it again.
Mistress Amanda.
Miss Keller. Amanda.
Doesn't work alone.
Wow, this is fantastic.
Her friend is in a back room making the tools of the trade.
I've heard them describe him as a drunken idiot.
Sorry, I've been drinking beer.
The legendary pirate Jonesy and Amanda the actress.
Hello, Wiggles. Congratulations, Mandy. We're on the radio right now.
What is it you can't face?
Jonesy and Amanda, you're doing a great job.
You have no empathy for anyone but yourself, you giant tool.
Now's the time to hear good radio.
Sorry, a bit of a tongue twist there.
Jonesy and Amanda are here.
It's showtime, a-holes. We're on the air.
Well, hello there, Amanda.
Hello there.
How are you today?
Foghorn Leghorn, I'm well. How are you?
I'm great. Just call me the creator of life.
What do you
That's
mean?
a slightly blasphemous turn. Remember the fish pond that I had?
Yeah.
I still have the fish pond.
You haven't turned it into a skate ramp.
No, but it's not that big. And then I got it relined, I got the fish in it, and then the fish died.
Yeah.
And then...
There's more background than that. Do you mind if I tell the background now about how you're not great at keeping fish alive? It seems that anything from the animal kingdom that comes into your home doesn't last long.
We had cats that lived for 1,000 years.
The cats, yes, but particularly
Rufus
the fish.
was 120
but those
in
fish
human years.
In human years.
I mean, in cat years. If he was a
He
human,
was a Highlander.
He would have been sitting on top of a Nepalese mountain dispensing advice and smelling poorly.
But fish don't last long in your house. You when you moved into that house, there was a really rich ecosystem,
Yeah.
and you didn't even
Well,
know you had it. You
I
didn't even
didn't know
know
it was
that
a fish
you
pond.
didn't know it was a fish
It was
pond.
all grown over.
That's how rich and lush it was. You just thought it was bushes. It was a giant fish pond,
And I trimmed down the bush
Yeah.
and found a lush fish pond.
and it all died because you ripped
No,
all the
no,
canopy off.
no,
all the sun went in. Things killed
The problem
things.
was it was leaking, and we were going through a drought at the time. You remember the drought, the great drought of whatever that was? And I thought, well, I better fix this. Can't have a leaking fish pond. So got it fixed and had to move the fish to another place. And they all survived that. Then when I put them in the new fish pond, the problem is it was my wife's fault because she wanted a pristine looking fish pond. And I said, no, it's got to have some sort of ecology in there. It's got to have plants and all that junk. And that means it's got to be a little bit green. No, I don't want that.
So fish can't live in that.
So when all the fish died, then it was like a War of the Roses thing. Helen and I we couldn't come to an agreement, so we had no fish in there. Then Helen, unbeknownst to me, went down to the local fish shop and bought 5 boggle-eyed fish and put them in the fish pond. Now, this, by the way, has now got an ecosystem that she's planted there herself.
Right, so there is some greenery in there.
Yeah, so this is a way of, in the world, you know when people say happy wife, happy life and all that sort of stuff, I've discovered a new thing as well with your wife, is that you just let them go like a boomerang and they'll go and then they'll come back to your way of thinking. So instead of fighting it, which I often do, I let this one go and now it's come back. So it's all grown over and the boggle-eyed fish are thriving healthily, except for one died. But then I looked in the fish pond yesterday. I thought it was larvae, but it's not. It's fish.
They've had babies.
Little baby fish, little baby black boggle-eyed fish.
You know, the obvious causality here is that you've been away. You've been away for 2 weeks and the fish have had babies.
Well, that's what Helen said.
Did she? Yeah. So she can see the truth in that too.
I was away. I'm not responsible for giving birth.
Nothing to see here. It wasn't me. You haven't been fiddling around in the... Fish pond?
A fish fiddler.
Boggle eyes? I know those boggle eyes.
Media types are weirdos, aren't they? No, he's having it off
No
with his
one's
fish.
thinking that you've done it, Brendan.
Anyway, just call me the creator.
I will. And do you promise you'll be honest about how long they last?
There's a lot of them. There's about 6.
Yeah, but they have to morph to the next stage of
I think they
aliveness.
will. I think they'll morph.
What if you had sea monkeys in there? You know, the giveaway, there'd be tiny briefcases and high chairs in
And
there.
a utopia.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah, they were just sea lice, you know.
What?
The sea
I
monkeys.
know, but still. And, they're just little midgies.
Yeah, midgies.
Nothing ever
Mosquitoes.
matched
You're
the
just
picture.
buying larvae.
Yeah, didn't match the picture in any
Not like
way.
my fish. I probably should dry them out, package them up and sell them to kids.
Oh, yes.
There you go. Action-packed show today.
Lots of things on the show today.
Lots of things. We've got a controversial guest on the show. I'm not going to go into it now because we don't have heaps
It's
of time.
not controversial.
Well, it is. It's controversial because it's about a controversial character, a
Yes.
fallen hero.
Yeah.
And, whenever you talk about this man, people always get fired up. And we've got an author about the book about this man.
All right. But let's get to Magnificent Seven first.
Yeah.
Question 1. What do caterpillars turn into? It's not fish.
Podcast.
We have for you the Magnificent Seven. For the uninitiated, there are 7 questions. Can you go all the way and answer all 7 questions correctly? If you do that, Amanda will say.
Watch Jonesy around your pets.
But it's about getting questions
You're a
7 right.
petophile.
I'm not. Oh, okay. Okay. I don't. I'm just saying, Nev of Terrigal, feel free to wade in on
Hi,
this.
Nev.
Oh, look, it's a bit early for this, guys.
Well, of course
Sleeping with the fishes, I think that mentions
I'm not sleeping with the fish. I'm just saying
Mafia
the
style
fish,
is one thing, Jonesy style's another.
my little boggle-eyed blackfish are now producing more fish.
But the reason they're alive is because you were away. So maybe leave the hell alone.
What? How long does a fish take to gestate in the fish tummy?
You're the fish aficionado, excuse
No,
the
I
pun.
just create the fish, the
Oh,
environment.
see, I'm trying to get you out of this.
No.
Nev, let's move on. Question number 1. What do caterpillars turn into?
Well, I know this because I had the Very Hungry Caterpillar book as a kid.
Yes.
It would be a butterfly.
A butterfly.
What was Tom Cruise's call sign in the 1986 movie Top Gun? It's not really his call sign, it was more of his handle. His call sign, if you want to get really technical, was Ghost Rider.
So what's the question? What was his handle?
Well, no, his handle.
What's his nickname?
What's his nickname? They all have those flyboys, they all have a nickname. Tom Cruise, he was...
I think you're after Maverick.
Yeah.
Yes,
His name was
Maverick.
Pete.
Let's play the not-so-secret sound with you, Nev. Duh. What's this?
Oh, it's a dolphin.
It is.
I know that well.
Oh, Brendan, you're not involved with dolphins now, are you?
Well,
Do you know
go on.
that I've had a relationship with a
You
dolphin?
did try to have it off with you.
It did. I haven't heard from it since. Good on you for bringing it up. I'm a little triggered.
So what happened?
Well, there were 2 dolphins. I was doing a Beyond 2000 story. There were a number of dolphins, but there was a male dolphin and a female dolphin in this tank area. And the male they've got a corkscrew penis. And they try and flip you at the back of the knee on the human because that's the distance from the foot to the knee as where the dolphin's area would be. And they sort of flipping you up and down. And the female was getting very cranky. So I didn't want to break them up. I said, okay, guys, I've had my fun. I'm getting out of the tank
Right,
now.
so you're having a 3-way with some dolphins.
Well,
Like, you're rock and roll, man.
aren't I just? Anyway, Nev, we've got off to a very animal grubby start today.
In which country did chess originate, Nev? Was it A, India, B, Germany, or C, Poland?
India, Poland, or China? I reckon it
Germany.
goes-
Germany.
Oh. England, Poland.
No,
No, India.
India, Germany,
Nev,
Poland.
stop putting your own categories in there. There's 3 categories: India, Germany, and Poland. No other countries.
Oh, let's get Germany.
Look, it was a long, circuitous journey, and it's come to an end, Nev.
There we have it. Question number 3.
All right, in which country did chess originate, India or Poland?
Nation.
The Magnificent 7. It's question 4.
It's going to Carol in Kingswood. Hi, Carol.
Hello, Amanda.
Hello.
Hi, Carol.
Hello. Jonesy.
Thank you. Are you reading that off a card, Carol?
I
Pardon?
do.
Are you reading that off a card? I'm just trying to work out how...
No.
Okay, good.
Let's see how far we can get you through the Mag 7. You've come in at question 4. In which country did chess originate? These are your only two options, Carol. India or Poland?
India.
India. The game of chess was born in India during the Gupta dynasty in the 6th century.
What about that?
What about
I like a game of chess. I haven't played chess for some time.
I was obsessed when I was younger. I haven't played for years.
I thought
Maybe
you were
were-
obsessed with the musical chess.
No one is.
I know you
That's
always...
one of the worst ones,
I
isn't
love
it?
when we ever play Murray Head.
Oh.
Carol, question number 5 for you. What was the original name for the Grammy Awards?
Well, what we're asking here is what's the word Grammy short for?
Yeah.
Short for? No, I don't know that.
Carol?
Hi, Carol.
Amanda's
Carol
in...
knows what she knows and what she doesn't know.
It's like, she was just hanging off that cliff, like in Cliffhanger, and I was trying
And
to...
she let go.
No, the girl didn't let go.
No, Carol did.
In the Cliffhanger, the girl didn't let go. Sly's hands were too slippery.
Spoiler alert for people who haven't
It's
seen that
in the first 2
30-year-old
minutes
film.
of the movie.
Amanda's in Northmead. Hi, Amanda.
Hi, Amanda. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. The Grammy Awards, the word Grammy is short for what?
Grammy. Short for gramophone.
Gramophone.
No one uses a gramophone anymore. What's wrong with the kids these days?
Get out your gramophone.
Play the Charleston. In soccer, how many yellow cards lead to a player's disqualification? So I think, I thought it turned into a red card. You got...
Let's get the question out of the way in case you blab it. How many yellow cards lead to the player's disqualification?
Oh, it had to be a soccer question. Yellow card. Let's go with 3.
Oh, sorry, Amanda.
Tony's in Seven Hills.
Hi, Tony.
Good morning. How are we going?
Very
Great,
well.
Tony.
How many yellow cards lead to a disqualification?
2.
Yep.
2. Are they the slices of cheese? Of which is that right, Ryan? You're a soccer player.
Yeah, you get 2 yellows and you get sent off. So they're
And what's a red when it's even harder?
Yeah, so red is for a tackle that's even worse.
If you've murdered someone, say.
Yeah.
Why is it a slice of cheese?
Because the yellow card looks like a
it looks
slice
like a
of
little slice of...
cheese.
Yeah,
Duh.
Well, I never thought of that.
I wasn't holding up a fish.
If you were playing soccer, you'd always be getting them. I don't want a red one. Who plays Ken in the new Barbie movie, Tony?
It is question 7, Tony.
This is you, Tony.
Ryan Gosling.
Yes, you've done it. And for that, you will be rewarded with the Jam Pack, a family Sea Life Sydney Aquarium pass. Discover the secrets of the sea at Sea Life Sydney Aquarium. Book online now.
Don't see all of Jonesy's children in
I
there.
should go down there. You know, I'm a fish life giver, Tony. You know that.
Of course.
2 tickets to Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1, exclusively in cinemas, 2 cinemas, July 13. Has that happened yet? It's coming up. People
2
see it.
days.
They're loving it. Josie and Amanda, character choose for the colour, and this was Taylor Pencils. Tony, anything you would like to add?
Thank you very much on Burst FM. Much appreciated.
You're
Well
welcome,
done,
Tony.
Tony.
Thank you.
Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation
Podcast.
Let's get this over with. Are we ready? Pay attention because I do not want to have to fail you.
Thumbing through the Jalmanac, our big book of musical facts. On this day in 1975, Fleetwood Mac released Landslide.
Are we playing Landslide? This is my
Steady
favourite
on,
ever
little
song.
friend, hang on.
Oh, my. I hope we're playing Landslide. It'll make me cry. Everything makes me cry.
A drop of barometric pressure makes you cry. Let me just tease you a bit.
I just got excited.
Stevie Nicks wrote the song a few years before she joined the band at what was a stressful time in her life. She was living with her boyfriend, Lindsey Buckingham. Money was tight. Doubts about making a successful record together lingered, and as a result, the couple's relationship was strained. For Stevie, the meaning to the song Landslide came down to the one simple question: is it worth staying in the relationship to keep the music together?
That's really what the song Landslide is about. To give that up because our relationship wasn't working. I just, made many different decisions along the way. Is it worth staying in this relationship to keep this music together? And my opinion always was yes, it is. What we have to offer is way better than what I have to offer by myself or what he has to offer by himself.
You know what? A year later, Mick Fleetwood invited Lindsay to join the band. He agreed under one condition: his girlfriend Stevie be part of the new lineup.
And boy, was she.
What a part of that lineup.
Yeah, and the mixed fortunes of the relationships ever since.
Stevie, come over and sing Backup Sinus with us.
Oh, let's play Landslide.
Let's put it on for you. It's a pretty song.
It's beautiful.
Jam Nation.
I came across this guy. His name's Adam Kruger. He's the chief meteorologist for CW39 Houston. Houston, we have a meteorologist. What he does is people request songs and he sneaks the lyrics of the songs into his weather reports. Let me play one for you and see if you can work out what this song is. So this has been recorded over a period of time. He doesn't do it all in one, maybe a week. I don't know.
Is it like the security guard that recorded his own flatulence when he was at his desk? So he'd take a picture of himself and he'd go, meh, and then he posted it all into a montage.
Well, it's not on TV.
No, into a montage.
So if that show's made, I'd like to host it.
That would be you. Destined for 10 peach.
Well, this guy, he's doing the weather on CW39 Houston. And so see if you can tell what lyrics he has snuck into this variety of bulletins.
Clear sky in Houston in the morning. Is this the real life or is this just fantasy? If you're just waking up and joining us, open your eyes, look up to the skies and see some sunshine. This time of year, we still get cold fronts, so the warm air is easy come, easy go. And relative to average, we're a little high, a little low. Any way the wind blows doesn't really matter to me as long as rain holds off for the weekend. But that doesn't necessarily look like it's going to be the case. I see a little silhouette of a rain cloud out there in the distance over the Gulf. That rain staying offshore, though, this morning. If you have outdoor plans late in the day Saturday, you're thinking thunderbolts and lightning, very, very frightening. Goodbye, everybody. I've got to go. Got to leave you all behind and face the truth that no wait weather and traffic ends now, but Houston Happens is coming up.
Can I guess?
He's good.
Can I have a guess?
Yeah.
Is it Agadoo?
No, is it, am I ever going to see your face again?
That's very good.
Clever,
so how long
isn't
did that take?
I don't know, but looking at I saw it on a TikTok reel, it's a variety of different days. He's in different suits, so maybe a couple of weeks. But that's really good.
It's good to get people to do stuff on TV. Remember that time we got Tim Bailey when he used to do the weather when the world was great to feed a kangaroo to a Tasmanian devil.
To do it.
We did.
With a competition. What should Tim Bailey feed on television to the Tassie devil?
And I tell you what, it's tea time here too at the Australian Reptile Park, and they get fairly keen on who gets what. That is a kangaroo leg down there, and that's two Tasmanian devils deciding who gets the main course. More of this on your television later on. A great place to come during the school holidays.
More of that and Amanda's flatulence coming up.
Jonesy and Amanda. Jam Nation.
Podcast.
We've got Chris Masters joining us on the show. Chris
Walkley award-winning journo.
He is a pretty good journalist. And this is one of those interviews.
One of Australia's best.
One of Australia's best journalists. Absolutely fantastic. And this is one of these stories that I was just hoping would go away. And we're talking about Ben Roberts-Smith. And for a time there, I thought we couldn't talk about it because it was all under the defamation case, and we didn't want to get in trouble. But it's just easier for us not to talk about it.
I'll give you the background to the story. We're going to be talking to Chris, who has written a book called Flawed Hero, Truth, Lies and War Crimes. This was a defamation case that was brought by Ben Roberts-Smith because a couple of journalists, Chris Masters, Nick McKenzie, and a third journo as well, whose name escapes me right now. Oh, here he is. Let's name them all because they're heroes, I think, is David Rowe. And it is, as you say, it's an uncomfortable subject. These guys unearthed information about Ben Roberts-Smith, our Victoria Cross recipient, and some of his actions in Afghanistan. And those actions included war crimes. Killing unarmed civilians, ordering subordinates to execute prisoners, planting weapons on dead bodies to fake combat deaths. And they wrote a series of articles about this. And Ben Roberts-Smith sued them in a defamation trial that went on for like 18 months or something.
It's a long time.
And only recently, just a couple of months ago, even less than that, maybe a month ago, the results came out and the judge said that, yes, these allegations, they've proven that they are true. So he is now known as a war criminal. He's thinking of countersuing, et cetera, et cetera. But he brought this case saying, I want to prove that this didn't happen. And the justice has said, no, those journalists have proved their case.
He steadfastly believes that he didn't do anything wrong. It all happened in the theatre of war. And we spoke to Ben Roberts-Smith back, I can't remember when he got the VC all those years ago. What a charming guy he was. And for men in particular, and I think my wife and I are having this chat. We're over in Berlin, and you get like a real over in Germany. You just everything makes sense because you see a country that was ravaged by war, and then communism. And everything that we have here, but you just appreciate how lucky we are. And we were just talking, and Helen had a few wines, and she was saying, well, why don't they just leave it alone? Why don't they just leave it alone? I said, I wish we could just leave it alone. But if you read more about it, you think, oh, you know.
There are rules.
You know.
And that's what's hard for us to understand. There are rules of engagement.
Then we spoke to Ant Middleton from SAS, and we asked his opinion about it. And Ant said, what happens on the field of war? And I was happy with that because I find if you're a soldier and you go into battle to do the job that no one else will do, then I have the utmost respect for you. I say, good on you.
Sure, but your job involves rules.
And then sitting in Berlin, watching war-ravaged Berlin, and you read the stories about the Holocaust and all that sort of stuff. There were Nazi soldiers in Dachau who would get paid extra money if they shot a straggling prisoner. And this prisoner's in starvation, starving to death. But these Nazi soldiers would get extra money from the Nazis because they thought the prisoner was escaping. The prisoner's an 80-year-old woman that hasn't been fed. You know, that's where does the line...
Well, there is a very clear line. There's no blurred lines. Our rules...
No, but we love the Anzacs. We love the heroes. We love all that sort of stuff. And when you saw... And Ben Roberts-Smith, just meet him, he's like a superhero. He's 7 foot tall. You know, and he was a very articulate, charming guy.
And some of his other co-soldiers, if that's the word, spoke out against him and said, this is what I saw and it made me uncomfortable. So we like to think that you're right, that our soldiers go and whatever happens, happens. But there is a very strict code of engagement, and there has to be. For us to, remember in post-September 11 when we said, how come they can blow us up and we can't just go and do the same? Because we want to be better than that. And we have a very strong rules of what our engagement is. You cannot kill unarmed civilians. There's special names for a civilian that has been captured, that is shown to not be an insurgent, etc., etc. There are checklists, and the other soldiers knew it.
Yep.
They knew it. They behaved. They knew what their job was.
Yep. But you can well appreciate as well over there, the soldiers don't wear uniforms, and this is what the opposition doesn't wear. Yeah, this opposition doesn't wear uniforms. So this is what Ben Roberts-Smith was saying. One minute the kid is being a translator, helping you out, and next minute he's blowing up all your mates.
Of course. It's not easy.
It's
absolutely.
Not easy.
Absolutely.
And that's what we're going to talk to Chris Masters about, because he has researched this. He's put everything on this. So it'll be that's an interesting chat, that's for sure.
Jam Nation.
We're doing a gram right now.
Who wants some free money?
Instant.
Coin cash.
Moolah.
I like the sound of that.
Jonesy and Amanda's
Instagram.
We gave away $1,000 yesterday. It can happen for you today and then some. You've got 10 questions, 60 seconds on the clock. You can pass. If you don't know an answer, we'll come back to that question if time permits. If you get all the questions right, $1,000.
Then we ask you another question. Do you want to double your money? Want to play for $2,000? One more question. You can walk away with $2,000 or walk away with nothing. That's what you have to think about.
That's what it's about. Michael's in Liverpool.
Hi, Michael.
Hi, Jonesy and Amanda.
Hello. Now, Michael, we have 10 questions. We have 60 seconds. If you're not sure, say pass, because usually we have time to come back, okay?
Yes.
Let's see if we can get you $1,000 for starters. You ready to start?
Yep.
Michael, here we go. Question 1. How many cents make $1?
100.
Question 2. Black and white combined makes what colour?
Grey.
Question 3. What's the typical cheese that's part of a caprese salad?
Pass.
Question 4. What does a thermometer measure?
Temperature.
Question 5. True or false? Honeybees die after they sting.
True.
Question 6. Mallorca is an island part of which country?
Pass.
Question 7. What sport was Emily Seebohm known for?
Swimming.
Question 8. How many wheels does a tricycle have?
3.
Question 9. Sam Neill plays Alan Grant in which famous movie franchise?
Pass.
Question 10. Who's the Greek god of thunder?
4.
Oh, no. It's Zeus.
Zeus. Oh, let's go back to some of the ones you missed. The cheese in a caprese salad is mozzarella. Mallorca is part of Spain. And Sam Neill plays Alan Grant in Jurassic Park. I'm sorry, Michael, you get $100 for your groceries.
Okay, thanks very much.
Thanks, Michael.
Maybe distracted by those pictures of Hamzy and Elsa over in Spain.
What do you mean?
Well, you see Hemsy and Elsa over in Spain in their cozies.
Really? What page? See it in the paper? Is it online? How do I look?
It's in the paper. I actually not see it.
I better have a look.
Jam Nation.
There was a story this morning that I think a lot of parents can relate to. A mother contacted Virgin Airlines to say she lost her child's teddy bear, a very special teddy, a gift from the kid's name's Archie. Lost his teddy on a Virgin flight, and it was from Archie's late grandfather was this gift. So something very special. You know what it's like. You're with your kid. They've lost their special something. Well, the airline went to great lengths to find it.
Virgin cabin crew have gone to great lengths to reunite a lost teddy bear with its owner. They took Ted the teddy on quite an adventure through the plane, from business class to the cockpit, and of course posted his escapades on social media to help find the owner. 1.5-year-old Harry and his mum Kim answering the call.
Nah, that's cute, isn't it?
Very cute. Well, there's this other story I saw too, just on Instagram. This family... they lost a bunny rabbit, and the daughter was just beside herself. And so the parents said that the bunny had gone on a holiday with the aunt and uncle, and postcards were sent. This is why the parents were trying to buy some time, because this teddy, she knew it, the bunny, she knew that it had a hole in its ear. She knew it was a certain colour. She knew what all the stains were. So then there's footage of the parents cutting a hole in the ear of a new bunny they'd had to go and buy, dyeing it in tea bags, rubbing it in some dirt, trying to replicate the look and the feel. And then the daughter gets a suitcase with the notes from the teddy saying, I've been on this fantastic holiday and I really missed you. And she checked it for the hole. She knew what she was looking for, and then she could relax it. Yes, that was her teddy.
It's crazy.
It's exhausting. Did you have that with any of your kids?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And now it makes me think I'm not going to give my kids anything.
Well, imagine giving a teddy bear to a 30-year-old.
Well, it would be odd. I remember my youngest, at his christening, friends of ours gave him a little Winnie the Pooh bear. That was a cute little Winnie the Pooh bear. And anyway, he had it one day. Helen and I are at Kmart, and there's a wall of Pooh, Winnie the Pooh bears, exactly the same. And I said,
stock up.
And we both looked at each other, side split, you know what I'm thinking? So we're like grabbing these like the COVID pandemic to stock up on Winnie the Pooh
Didn't use them as toilet paper, did you?
But they're very soft. So we ended up just buying 2. We should have bought more. So we bought 2, and he had the one, and we kept the 2 stashed away. Anyway, he lost the one, and Helen gave him the new one, but he discovered the other one as well. So we became a slave to 2 Pooh bears. So he didn't realise he'd lost the one and then the 2 Pooh bears.
Yeah.
So everywhere he went, we're a slave to the
carrying
Pooh bears.
2.
Carrying 2 Pooh bears. Pooh bears travel the earth. So when I become a grandpa, I'm not going to get anything. Oh, you know what I will? I'll give the little grandkid an anvil. There you go, mate. There's an anvil.
See, but when you're a grandparent...
Make sure Dad brings that with you.
It's not your concern.
No, exactly. Bring the anvil.
My kids both had... blankies, and in the end it was like just this tiny strip of ribbon from the end of the blankie.
You've got to keep cutting bits off.
Oh, so hard. And we've been at various airports and things, blankie's gone, and you think, we cannot get on that plane without that blankie. We had a cleaner go through a bag and found it, and they'd cleaned it from the table.
Does your head in.
And we had to get it back. It's exhausting.
It's that ad. I like that ad for one of those get-out-of-town four-wheel drive trucks, and the little kid loses a rabbit and the dad's going through everything. And then it demonstrates how capable the four-wheel drive is, and the dad's doing that, and then the mum finds it in a bag and throws it into the bush. And the dad finds it, and he's the hero. I totally get that.
Well, look, the tribal drum's going to beat for this. I'm a slave to my kid's stupid toy.
Boo-boo. Yes, Bobo.
Jam Nation
podcast. The tribal drum is beating because it's a cute little story. A little boy loses his beloved teddy bear.
That's not
on
the
a
cute
Virgin
bit,
Australia
because
flight.
the parents.
Well, it's not cute when you lose the teddy bear.
No, that's the thing. They go into panic mode. This had been a gift from a late grandfather, and suddenly, oh no, we've left it on the plane. There's no panic like that. We've lost the security blanket. We've lost the toy, whatever it is. Anyway, it was found by staff. They took photos of it in the cockpit, having a great time. So that Teddy's had an adventure, been reunited with his owner.
But for every one of those stories, there's a million other stories of heartbreak, of parents trying to fashion together toys out of something to
replicate the one that's been lost.
The tribal drum is beating for I was a slave to my kid's stupid toy. Boo-boo. Tracy's joined us.
Hi, Tracy. What happened?
Well, my son at the age of 2 was obsessed with T-shirt material, and he used to walk along touching everyone's T-shirts. And we got a little T-shirt out of from a collection, and it became his obsessive toy that everywhere he went, that T-shirt had to go with him. So we got on a plane, we went to Queensland to see family, and from they were in the Gold Coast, and driving from the Gold Coast up to Brisbane, he decided to hang it out the window, and it blew out the window on the highway.
Oh, no.
Couldn't stop to get it back, and we screamed all the way to Brisbane, all the way back from Brisbane, and thank goodness in the suitcase back in the Gold Coast we had a little backup T-shirt, different colour, but it still did the job.
You wouldn't have brought that T-shirt out earlier. Kids
didn't have it with them.
Screaming all the way there and all the way
I know.
back.
There's no anxiety like it. As I said, we've been at airports and we'd cut down a blankie into tiny little bits. Disappears. You think we cannot face this flight without that blankie.
My nieces had this little cow. It was just called Cow. It was a little hand puppet called Cow. But they get this smell to them. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, and you try and wash them, but the kids, it's like
the smell.
like the make
It's got
of
a
it.
life of its own.
Yeah, it's hosting a show on Channel 7.
Thank you, Tracy. Jason's joined us.
Hi, Jason.
Hi, how you guys going?
Very
Great.
well. What was lost?
It was my koala that was lost. It was a really expensive koala, and I remember leaving it in a change room somewhere with my mother. I was about 3 or 4, and I was absolutely devastated. So my mother drove hours to the zoo to get a replacement, and she put it on our front veranda and pretended to knock on the door. And I went out, and there was the koala, but it actually wasn't my koala. It was a new koala, and I knew it wasn't my koala, so I didn't want to have anything to do with the koala.
That's it. Good on
So
you,
she'd
Jason.
gone to all that trouble. And now I'm 44 years old, and she only told me a couple of years ago the whole story.
Do you remember all the incident?
I can remember opening the door and going out onto the veranda, and I can remember the panic of losing it, but yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. Your poor
she
mother.
Told me because my niece did exactly the same thing, and that's when she told me. She had this tiny little raggedy doll from some shop somewhere, and she'd always lose it. So my mother bought a whole heap of them as a spare. She's obviously not as smart as me because they just keep replacing them.
Yes.
That's a good idea.
Don't start with an expensive toy, whatever you do. But imagine that. Your mother goes to all that trouble and you go, nah, not mine.
Jason stood by his ground. Nope, not
No,
mine.
not mine.
I bet how good's your mum that didn't bring that up either for all those years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The minute you're old enough
She's
to
a
know
good
I'd have
mum.
berated you with it.
You would be bringing it up every 5
Yeah.
seconds. Thank you, Jason.
Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation
Podcast.
Listen up, people. Fasten your seatbelt.
Let's get ready to rumble!
It is a lovely story. Little Archie has got on a Virgin flight and he's left his teddy bear behind, and Mum and Dad are distraught. Archie's obviously distraught.
That's right. Well, it's found, the teddy bear is found, and the crew, the Virgin crew, make a little Instagram reel saying, oh, look, here we go. It's up in the cockpit. Here it is. If this is your teddy,
get around.
get in touch with us.
It's gone like an NRL player.
Everyone's been reunited. Everybody's happy.
It's great. But for every story like that, there's always horror stories. There's
That's
horror
right.
stories.
Yeah, things going missing, screaming children, parents trying to replicate lost toys.
And the kids don't. Remember my daughter had that huge doll. It was a life-size plastic doll. It was, when I say life-size, it was probably about 3 foot tall. And it had those eyes that opened.
Eek.
And it was she called it Golden Decence. So it was cumbersome and big, and she wanted to take that everywhere.
Yeah.
And it was plastic. You couldn't fold it up. And then she put it around the house. I'd be on the way to work. It's like my house was the Amityville Horror.
I bet. Well, Jack went through a phase of making Lego, but wanting to take it with him. And imagine carrying Lego.
Remember, I just had a flashback. Don't mention the X-Wing fighter. Remember the X-Wing fighter?
No.
And Harley said, I'm going to glue it. I'm just going to glue that thing together.
That's right.
I'm just gluing it together.
Yeah, we should have, because he would burst into tears when bits would fall off it as he's carrying it across the street.
Don't get me started on your boy on the Death Star.
Leave him alone.
We never completed that thing.
Leave him alone.
Mike has joined us. Mike is familiar with the show. He is the boss of WSFM, and he has joined us right now. Mike, I've got to give you praise, by the way.
Oh, how so?
No, well, I was on holidays, and Mum said, "Who's that guy on the radio?" And I said, "What do you mean? He sounds really good. His name, it's Mike." And I went, "Mike?" And she goes, "No, I don't know. It's Mike someone." And I said, "Mike Burns." So my mum rates you.
Oh, well, you know when we scrape the bottom of the barrel for the rosters. When we lift the barrel up, that's where they find me. So I appreciate the feedback.
Is that why you became a program director?
Well, you know what they say, those who can't teach.
So, Mike, you've been hearing us talk about being slaves to the kids' toys, and this has stirred you to call us.
Yeah, well, it reminded me of my daughter Yasmin had one of those pound puppies, stuffed toys. It was given to her by her great-grandfather, who passed away not long after she was born. So it was a pretty special toy for us, but it was even more special for her. She gave it the very creative name of Doggy, and Doggy went absolutely everywhere, including to a family reunion we had up in Dubbo at I think it's the Dubbo Ex-Services Club. Anyway, we've been to the family reunion up on the top level in the auditorium. As we're leaving, we discovered Doggy is missing from the pram. So I'm back at the car already. The wife goes back into the club, sees another young couple with another child in a pram with the pound puppy, absolutely eviscerates this couple, just tears them to shreds about stealing Doggy, of course. Meanwhile, I've looked through the car and found Doggy.
Oh, no.
Anyway, the good news is Doggy still lived to fight another day. Yasmin's 27, still has Doggy.
Is Doggy still around?
Doggy is still around.
That other family's in therapy.
But you're not married anymore. That's well.
And you wonder why.
How do you recover? So she just got there and went, how dare you take...
Absolutely ripped into them. I mean, they looked exactly the same, of course. They were all the same, but it wasn't the same dog.
They only made 2 million of them.
Exactly.
Well, that's a very sphincter-tightening story. Thank you, Mike.
Sorry, you can't win man of the match, Mike, but...
Oh, bugger. Oh, jeez.
Thanks, mate.
Jam Nation.
If you're a Dave Warner fan, don't panic. He hasn't been dropped.
Speculation.
We misspoke.
Well, speculation that he'll be dropped and replaced with Mitch Marsh.
Well, speculation doesn't mean he's been dropped.
No, Pat Cummins, though, apparently has done some breadcrumbing, as it's known.
Yeah.
Talking about, Mitch Marsh has been playing so well and maybe, he should be in the team, etc.
Right. Will that help Pat Cummins?
Oh, Pat's the captain.
Oh, right, okay. Okay, so
There's a lot for you to learn.
Cricket, it's a lot to take.
But this is a big deal, so we're going to put this to the pub test. Now, Dave Warner has...
Hang on, let's get down to the Jonesy Manor Arts first.
Dave Warner's been struggling to find form in this Ashes test, struggling to score runs. He was dismissed 6 times by the same bowler, Stuart Broad, in the first 3 tests. He's hanging on really by a fingernail, but he's very loyal to his teammates and there seems to be a loyalty to him. But when this Ashes series is so close, we've got 1 left. They can even the ledger should he be in the team. Some are saying it's disrespectful to say that he should go, but he has lost confidence and form. People, though, are saying that this is when he's at his best. He's a proven match winner and he can bounce back from adversity. Can we afford, though, to have Warnie in the team?
As little as I know about cricket, I've often found whenever he has the criticism, he comes back better. Because it would be hard when you're out there in the middle of the field playing that game for hours on end.
A moment comes for every player. And when it's a player who's been such a part of the Australian story as David Warner has, you want them to be able to choose when they go. But this is critical time in an Ashes series. Does the decision have to be made? What do you think? Let's do it. Dave Warner, as he passed the pub test.
We'd love to hear from you. 13 WSFM is our number.
Jonesy and Amanda. Jam Nation.
Podcast.
I was talking yesterday how I was catching up on the Marvel franchise and the John Wick franchise, only so I can have more conversation with my adult children, because millennials seem to like the Marvel franchise and John Wick.
Well,
I didn't quite understand John Wick. I get it, but there's a lot of killing.
Yes.
There's a lot of killing. And I ran that past Jem Y. Ryan. He said...
Yeah, that's all there is to it. I don't know what you're getting confused about.
Or just the currency system doesn't work.
Whatever.
That's such an old man's version
Well,
of
he
a
just
movie.
he gets a coin and he'll give the coin to a homeless guy to get information. And he'll get exactly the same coin to a gun purveyor and he'll buy all these guns. I don't know much about guns, but they'd be worth a bit of money, I imagine.
I don't think you know much about currency either.
Well, they have their own currency. I just don't. I couldn't be an assassin for that reason.
Imagine if that came up in the meeting about the movie and they say, only an idiot would ask that. Move on. We've got more important fish to fry.
Well,
I'm that idiot.
Let me tell you about idiots.
Well, while you were doing all that, as I said, I had the house to myself for the weekend. And I've always wanted to watch the Outlander series. I'm 10 years late. It's up to series 7 now.
My wife was watching it some time ago, and whenever it was me and for some reason my youngest son would walk into the room, it would be in the middle of some horrendous sex scene, and we'd all just stand there and go, oh, great.
It's not horrendous. It's amazing. And anyway, me talking about it yesterday, about how I swooned for 3 days over Sam Heughan, who is the actor who plays Jamie. I'd read the book and swooned through the book, but to have it come to life.
When you say swoon, what does that mean?
Do you not know what the
I know
word
what swoon means,
means?
but it's an old-style word. I don't think no one's used that since the 40s.
I think people know when you see Jamie in this series what swoon means.
Swoon is what?
It's when your heart beats a bit fast, you get a bit sweaty and breathless and you go, oh, I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed. I think it's that. My palms are sweating just thinking about it now.
Would today's variant be a swoon?
Have the hots for readable.
The margarita song.
You know, the interesting thing is I've been inundated with people contacting me via DMs or on our socials saying, well, welcome to the party, pal.
Yep.
Duh. And I'm a little disappointed that I'm not the only person who's vying for his affections now. Lots of people who knew have been in love with him for many, many years. Here I am practicing my new signature for my pencil case and he's got other women after him. It's outrageous. Yeah. But I've been sent memes. I've been sent photos of people at the actual tourist sites. You can go there and stand at the stones, put your hands on the stone and will yourself to go through to the 17th century. I would have issues with their plumbing. That's one thing that would get in the way of me starting a new life
with him
in the 1700s is the plumbing.
Yeah, it's a lot of stinky armpits.
A lot of outdoor toileting, lots of castles that are cold with bad toilets as well. It all comes down to the toilets for me. That would have to be a
So
game
you'd be a
changer.
terrible time traveller for that reason.
For that very reason. But then people have been sending photos. I've gone down the wormhole of 1,000 websites and photos and this and that. And I've become a teenager. I'm going to get pimples before you know it. So I'm part of an interesting group of people who've been in love with him for many years. And now there's 6 seasons left to go. The new season 7 has just dropped.
Yep.
And I'm going to have to, I don't know, find somewhere where I can go just to watch it. Are there clubs? Are there clubs you can get into and just say Outlander at the door and they let you in and you drink a whiskey and you use some terrible toilet and you pretend that you're back there and you can watch it. If that club doesn't exist, I'm going to start it.
I think there's many clubs like that in this city, just quietly. I think you'll be fine. They're open now.
Oh.
Jam Nation. We're not gonna take it. I want you to get up right now. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. Go to your windows, open them, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell. I'm not gonna take this anymore.
Down to the Jonesy to Amanda Arms for the pub test. Dave Warner, does he pass the pub test?
Speculation this morning that Mitch Marsh might take his place up the order, might be dropped from the final test in the Ashes. He's been struggling to score runs, dismissed 6 times by the same bowler, Stuart Broad, in the first 3 tests. He's a very integral part of Australian culture and the Australian cricket team, but he's not on form. When should he go? So we're asking you this morning, Dave Warner, does he pass the pub test?
Irrespective of who you are, if you aren't performing, you shouldn't be named in the team, as it isn't fair to the teammates who are in form.
He plays well when he's in his own country, otherwise he should be dropped when he plays internationally, never performs.
No, he doesn't pass the pub test, mate. He should have been gone long ago. But, for an opening batsman to score 5 or 6, not really setting up the team. He hasn't for a long time, so I think he should go. I think they should have Marnus and Khawaja as openers and then have someone else in third.
Dave's a polarising figure, but he's a legend in Australian cricket, and I think we should keep him. He's saved us so many times, so keep Dave. That's my opinion. We need people like that in cricket.
There you go. thank you for all your calls.
Well, our newsroom will keep you informed all day about what's going to happen.
I know we announced that he was dropped from the side earlier, but
Apparently speculation that he'll be dropped.
Speculation. He's not dropped.
No.
Jam Nation podcast.
So Chris Masters is going to be joining us next. Chris is one of Australia's most prestigious journalists. He's a Walkley Award winner. He's written a book called Flawed Hero, Truth, Lies and War Crimes. This is about Victoria Cross recipient Ben Roberts-Smith. And Chris Masters was one of the journalists. There was also Nick McKenzie and David Rowe, who wrote a series of articles and television programs about the behaviour of Ben Roberts-Smith in Afghanistan. So basically they published a series of reports that accused him of war crimes. This included killing unarmed civilians, ordering subordinates to execute prisoners, planting weapons on dead bodies to fake combat deaths. Ben Roberts-Smith called a defamation trial. He wanted to defend his good name against these accusations. The trial went on for ages, and it's only about a month ago that it wrapped up. And the finding from Justice Anthony Basanko was the judgment was that, yes, these articles were able to prove that these things were true. So this isn't a criminal case. This is a defamation case that Ben Roberts-Smith called himself, but what has happened is that the journalists have been shown to be correct.
There's been many opinions about this. You can go anywhere in this country and talk about it, and people will have an opinion. I've spoken to soldiers. My wife, for example. We had a heated argument when we were over in Berlin about this. We were just talking. Helen said, "Why don't they just leave it be?" And I said, "Well, if you read the facts about it, it's kind of scary." I was of that mind. We spoke to Ben Roberts-Smith on our show when he got the VC, and I found him incredibly impressive. The guy's 6'7". He's a hero. He's everything that we want in our hero. But unfortunately, there's a few stories there that don't add up.
And what's hard for us to understand is that there are rules of engagement in war, which does seem crazy, is that we do have right and wrong on a battlefield.
Yeah.
And he's been accused and found through this trial that those accusations are right, that he stepped over the line and breached our code of ethics and was unlawful as a soldier. You know what? This is like the Gladys Berejiklian ICAC investigation. She was found to be corrupt and a liar. And many people don't want to believe that because they like Gladys Berejiklian. She got us through the COVID months, the years, by being strong for us. But this investigation, the ICAC investigation, showed that she acted in a corrupt manner and lied to her colleagues, lied to the public. She lied in the way that she covered up this relationship that was compromising her. And people don't want to hear it, but this is what's happened.
The laws are hard. Do you know many dodgy people?
I don't know if I do.
I know dodgy people.
But you're not a premier.
No, but in my life, I know dodgy. I've got mates that have gone to jail. If I knew about that in Australia, if you've got a mate that's doing something bad and you know about it, you are an accessory to the fact. So what are you got to do? You got to rat your mate out. This is the hard thing. This is the life
but what I'm saying,
I know it's different, but in Australia, and I'm not defending anything. I'm just saying how hard it is to get past the Ben Roberts-Smith thing. For me, particularly, I thought, wow, I wish this would go away. And I think that's what everyone thinks. A lot of these soldiers,
it's uncomfortable,
they were all sitting there going, oh, geez, I wish this would go away.
And other soldiers who stood alongside and said, hang on, I'm doing the right thing. That guy isn't. This makes me very uncomfortable. Yeah. So it's
medicine. It's bad medicine.
Whether we want it or not, these are the truths. Anyway, we're going to talk next. It's an incredible book that Chris Masters has written.
And when you read this book, I've been reading it, it's just...
Well, we can ask him, what about people who say leave it on the battlefield? Anyway, we're going to be talking to him next.
Chris Masters joining us next. It's 8:14.
Jam Nation.
Victoria Cross recipient Ben Roberts-Smith was one of the most highly decorated Australian soldiers. While he was being celebrated in the public eye, rumours and allegations of war crimes were being investigated in the background. Our next guest heard the rumours before we did. Award-winning journalist Chris Masters was one of the first to start an investigation into Roberts-Smith, and it's led to a new book called Flawed Hero, Truth, Lies and War Crimes. To tell us about that, Chris Masters, hello.
Hi there.
Hey, Chris, it's a hell of a book. It's a brave undertaking.
It took a long time, yeah. I mean, obviously there wouldn't be a book if we hadn't had the outcome that we had, but before the book came 110 days of court sittings and a judgment by a 700-page judgment by Justice Pasanko, and I'm really relieved enormously that his judgment on what occurred was pretty much parallel with ours.
When did you first start to hear rumours about Ben Roberts-Smith and some of his behaviour overseas?
I embedded with Special Forces. I'm the only journalist to have ever done so with Australian Special Forces in 2011. I suppose I started hearing things. I know by 2012 his name was coming up as a controversial figure, not a war criminal. And look, Amanda, I didn't take that much notice of it because, oddly enough, even though mateship is supposedly such a profound force in the Australian defence community, there's a lot of bitching too, particularly in Special Forces. They're the warrior elite, and they're the sort of the A-graders, so they tend to be very competitive. What I heard was that Ben was a bully and not necessarily always a pleasant bloke, but that didn't mean that he was a war criminal. And soldiers, especially Special Forces soldiers, have to be tough, have to be hard, have to be brutal to some degree. So, that wasn't such a surprise. It really wasn't until I got into an argument with him, if you like, about an incident that occurred in 2006, only because I started to hear competing accounts of the action that won him a Medal for Gallantry. And I had to put some questions to him, and really it went from there.
Wow. Because most Australians, and myself included, we interviewed Ben Roberts-Smith, I think at the time, when he got the Victoria Cross, and we were just impressed with him. It was almost like, it's like Superman suddenly turning out to be not such a Superman.
Yeah, well, I was too, Jonesy. I thought, when I first met him, I remember, well, I'd met him a few times, but we had this interview that went on for 2 hours, and I made a note at the time. For the first hour, he reasoned, and for the second hour, he ranted. I mean, he can put on that statesman-like visage where he gets the words right. He comes from an esteemed family. He went to a private school. He had a serious job. He was the managing director of Channel 7 in Queensland, so he could put on an impressive face. He did so in court as well. But after a while, it's that thing about truth. It's quite punishing. And after a while, if you kept hitting him with alternative facts, then that facade started to weaken.
What do you say, Chris, to people who say we can never understand what happens on the fields of war? It's not our place to judge these actions, and we should leave well enough alone.
Well, in the Second World War, when Japanese soldiers were bayoneting our soldiers to death, our prisoners on the Burma Rail, we didn't think much of that. When Sister Vivian Bullwinkle was machine-gunned to death by the Japanese, we didn't think much of that. We fought against that kind of conduct. We condemn the Nazis for killing civilians, but why is it different if Australians do it? That proposition that if they're wearing an Australian uniform, it's not a war crime, has never sat well with me. And look, it doesn't really sit well with the image of the Australian soldier either. I mean, the rules of war are pretty clear. You don't kill non-combatants. Certainly, it's a messy business, and certainly mistakes are made. But one of the things we tried to make clear all the way through, and is still having the argument to this day, is that the matters that we dealt with were never fog of war, heat of the moment things. They were, we alleged, outright callous murders. And it wasn't just morally wrong, it was strategically wrong. Whenever this sort of thing happened in Afghanistan, it turned the local population against us.
Ben Roberts-Smith has steadfastly denied this and said that this is what is all about war. So he's never going to come around and say, oh, okay, you got me.
No, he's not, no. And of course, it is true to say that this has not been demonstrated to a criminal standard. This was a civil court action. It wasn't so much about... It wasn't a war crimes trial as much as it was a trial, a defamation trial. It was about whether we could truthfully support what we had asserted.
And will this lead to further recriminations for Ben?
Yes, I mean, there's a long way to go. The Office of the Special Investigator was set up after the Brereton inquiry to look into not just allegations involving Ben Roberts-Smith, but also other soldiers as well. And there's a prosecution about to begin with one of those matters. As far as Ben's concerned, there'll be an appeal process, we presume. We don't know for sure whether he will appeal, but we'll know within a week or so. And beyond that, there are prospective criminal charges.
Wow. If Ben Roberts-Smith was a good bloke, do you think he would have got away with this?
That's a good question, you know. I think in a way there's a damn good chance he would have. I mean, one of the reasons that those soldiers turned against him was they didn't think he was a good bloke. They were actually quite angry at the impact that Ben had on so many of their brothers, you know, particularly the younger ones. As one of them said to me, look, I don't mind him pushing a dirt farmer to his knees and blowing his brains out if he does it himself, but he was bullying other younger soldiers into doing it, and it was their consciences that couldn't cope.
Wow. Well, Chris, it's a fascinating read.
Absolutely.
Flawed Hero, Truth, Lies and War Crimes goes on sale from Wednesday at all good bookstores. Chris Masters, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation.
Podcast.
Blast off for Kicksville.
Let's see what happens.
Floods of people. Well, one person came up to me the other day and said, how's Gem Y Rye's mobile going? You remember, before we got on holidays, Gem Y Rye blew his car up, forgot to put oil in it.
Yeah.
Borrowing his dad's car, so his dad had to take the bus.
Then we, just for a few people, a few connections, Guido came to us. He's a good friend of the show. He said, look, I tell you what, I got there. I'll look after the kid. I got this car. We got the car off Guido for tax purposes and a bit of a stir to Gem Y Rye. What did we do to the car?
You made it hideous.
We did put decals of our faces on it,
Yeah.
and on the back it says honk if you like Jonesy and
Yeah,
Amanda.
and it's everywhere.
It's
all over
down the
car.
sides of the car,
And it's
on
in
the
Fast
bonnet.
and the Furious rating. Do you see the font?
Oh, it's so good.
Excuse me, he's got a name.
How do you feel driving around? Because if you're inside the car, you're not aware of how you look, but do people let you know?
I've had people like pointing and laughing and just making fun of it.
Yep.
I did get a honk the other day, but then I realised it was because the light went green.
okay.
And
Right,
I wasn't
yeah,
concentrating.
You're on your phone.
So we can't ascertain if they liked us or not.
Yeah, I don't really. Yeah.
So you haven't really been getting many honks.
No.
Okay.
No.
And I'll just ask, I don't want to be boring, but what are we doing with the insurance and stuff on it? Because I just have a concern because you couldn't put oil in your last car. Is it insured? Because I just realised this could bite us on the bum.
Didn't we insure it?
I don't know.
I don't know if it's. Did you not insure it? What's going on with this
No,
car?
Boss Lady Millie's nodding her head. It's insured? Is it comprehensive or third party?
What's the diff?
Oh,
I don't know
my
what that
God.
means.
So third party is if he backs into Kyle Sandlin's Rolls Royce down in the car park,
Right.
we don't have to come up with $3 million to fix it. Comprehensive is if someone sets fire to it, then we get the money back for the car. And there's a good chance that could happen. But if it's third party and someone sets fire to it, we're not going to get anything.
And what is your basic rego cover and your green slip stuff?
Well, your rego covers your rego. Your
Yeah,
green
yeah,
slip
yeah.
covers your green slip.
Well, what do you mean? So what's the green slip?
The green
I'm
slip.
bad. I have no
is for
life
personal.
skills.
So Gem Y Rye's driving down the road and runs you over by
Right.
accident, then your medical bills are covered.
Right. So the green slip's for people, and the third party is for vehicles.
Well, what's the pink slip then?
What's a pink slip?
You got to get those once every year.
This is too hard.
It's too hard. I agree
I was
with Ryan.
supposed to be explaining this to Ryan. Why am I explaining it to you?
I don't understand that stuff at all.
Can you guys do all that for me? I don't want to do that.
Why is this going to bite us on the bum? I just have this feeling.
Don't look at me. I don't understand it either.
Jam Nation.
I must say it was hard to decline the invitation for the latest Tom Cruise Mission Impossible franchise. I wanted to go and see that and go to the red carpet and do all that sort of stuff. And then I was reading this story.
But we were away. Is that why you
We were
didn't?
away. We couldn't. Yeah, no, I just chose to sit at home and eat a lamb roast.
I think I might.
Would you?
red carpets make me anxious.
No, but you go along, there's Tom there, it's all, vibing out. There's Kerry Ann's there, everyone's there. Richard Wilkins, the gang's all there.
The gang is all there, Brendan.
But you might have missed this story that's come out, and it's in the Woman's Day, so it's gospel to me. Tom vetoed the VIP red carpety thing for Mission Impossible.
He vetoed it?
Well, he had a look at it.
Vetted it.
Vetted it? Is that it? Anyway, he had a look at it and said, who's in and who's out? So you and I were in. Mm-hmm. You know who was out?
Who?
Petey was out. Our Petey.
Peter Overton.
Petey. Because you remember years ago with the interview on 60 Minutes, and that was back in 2005?
What happened?
He had the interview and he asked about...
What was Peter asking that made him
He said
arc
to
up?
Tom about what you would say that Nicole was the love of your life.
But they'd broken up long before that, hadn't
before, but, Pete just asked that and Tom said...
Peter, put your manners back in.
Yeah.
And that became one of those iconic 60 Minutes phrases in please explain.
Yeah.
They love that at 60 Minutes, at 60, as they call it, these phrases that go viral.
Yeah.
You know why, though? That Peter Overton grew up next door to Nicole Kidman.
Yeah, I know that, yes.
So there's probably a lot of history there of Peter asking the question about his love for Nicole because they're neighbours of Nicole. They grew up together. They would know Nicole very well. They probably met Tom a number of times and then that relationship ends. And here's Peter, knowing where all the bodies are buried, doing an interview with 60 Minutes. No, but I mean, he knows that he'd have an insider's view as to, what happened.
And I can almost see... For Tom's perspective, the red carpet premiere, everyone's there. Richard Wilkins, Kerry Ann Kennelly, although he would notice, where's that Jonesy? Where, he's not there. But he would have thought, there's Pete hogging because all the journalists would be going, oh, hang on, there's Pete, what's going to happen?
He's so charismatic, Tom Cruise, isn't he? Remember I met him on the project that time?
You showed him my head.
I took along something that you had bought on eBay, which was his face that they made the mould for the mask for Mission Impossible. And I showed it to him and he pretended to be outraged, but you couldn't tell whether it was real or not. He pretended to be outraged and said, that's illegal. And then he laughed. And I said, I kiss it every night.
Carrie Bickmore, she said to me that Tom Cruise checked you out.
Yes, well, that's what she said to me too. But, I don't know if I could have the Scientology life.
Well, that's the thing. And that's the other thing about when you've got Tom Cruise in your life and Simon Pegg, who's in the Mission Impossible franchise, he was asked about his relationship with Tom Cruise. And this is what he said.
It's always been a very easy relationship. I think you realise when you meet the person rather than the thicket of mythology that's built up around them, it's a different experience. My relationship with him is very, very simple and amiable. We're friends.
He also went on to say that they went helicopter trail biking adventuring. See, if you want all that cool stuff, and even Tom Cruise, by his own admission on that day, said to Simon Pegg, it's a bit of a Tom Cruise day. Even Tom Cruise said that. You remember we spoke to Jennifer Connelly, who was in Maverick. Remember she said this.
Even you feel, wow,
even
he's Tom
I was
Cruise.
like, I'm riding a motorcycle with Tom Cruise. Yeah.
Is somebody filming this? Someone better be filming this.
Someone get a camera.
So I just keep a pie hole shut.
He's very charismatic, isn't he? But as those people say, you take the bit of Tom that suits you and you just leave that other stuff alone.
I want the helicoptering trail biking part of Tom, if I could.
And I'll just take the plaster face that I can kiss in my own time.
You never gave that back either.
Well, when I said to him, because he was promoting the movie The Mummy. The Mummy? Remember, it was about the apocalypse kind of stuff.
Yeah, The Mummy.
Yeah. And I was just chatting to him in the green room and I said that rat scene. I said, what's your thing? Because some characters have rats. And he said in real life, he doesn't have a thing. I don't know whether that's part of the religion, but he's impervious to fear.
No, he said he likes fear.
But he doesn't, I said, what's your thing? Is it rats? Is it heights? He said he didn't have a thing.
What about
He doesn't show vulnerability.
middle-aged women with plaster casts of his face?
That was his only vulnerability. Couldn't resist me.
Put your manners back in.
And your teeth while you're at it.
Jam Nation.
Everybody shout! Come on now, sing out! It's time for the Ghoulies get together.
Imagine winning $20,000 cash just for having a whinge. That's what you can do with Gets My Ghoulies. Our favourite ghoulie of the year will win $20,000. Download the iHeartRadio app, go to WSFM, press the microphone, record your ghoulie.
What have we got?
Hey, Jonesy and Amanda.
What gets my ghoulies? Well, this has sound effects. This will help you out. That is my lazy-ass husband who leaves every one of his drawers open by about 5 centimetres. How effing hard is it to close a drawer? Let me show you. That gets my ghoulies.
It doesn't take much to wind people up in a relationship like that.
You come home, it's like the kitchen in The Sixth Sense. Remember that when all the cupboards are open?
Do you think she's blaming her lazy-ass husband, but maybe
Maybe
the
he's
room's
dead.
possessed. Have you thought about that?
Take with that what you will. What else have we got?
You know what gets my ghoulies? Fake mum videos on Instagram. You know, the ones with the perfect hair and makeup, get up an hour before their kids, do a load of washing, have a green smoothie instead of a coffee, do a workout, read a book, cook breakfast, and then wake up their little angels. When in reality, the rest of us wake up to a screaming baby, haven't showered in days, don't ask me last time I washed my hair, do the sniff test before picking out clothes, run around like a mad woman getting everyone ready, and still be late for work and school. Yeah, and I just don't want to feel bad about that.
Don't feel bad about it. Don't, because that is the reality
you
of
should
for
do
most
it.
people.
You being terrible and post that on Instagram.
I think a lot of people do. I think they post, here's the reality of how it actually is. Take off the life filter, because that does make us judge ourselves.
Yes, and the hardest judge of oneself is themselves.
Particularly when it comes to mothering.
Out with the bad, in with the good. If you dipped out, doesn't matter. You download the iHeartRadio app, go to WSFM, press the microphone, record your ghoulie. It's 4 to 9.
My favourite caller, email or Facebook friend wins dinner at Hojiak Town Hall to the value of $300. Hojiak Town Hall is Sydney's only chef-hatted Malaysian restaurant.
Yum.
So highly recommended.
You also get a Jonesy and Amanda tea towel and 18th birthday key ring.
All over the news this morning, a teddy that was lost on a flight from Sydney, a teddy bear, not a lady's frilly underwear, has been found.
Still wear teddies? Is that a thing?
I think so. Imagine if they were looking for that teddy and a husband and a man saying, "Oh no, didn't come out of my
But it's
briefcase."
got your name on it, Keith.
So finally, the airline found it. The teddy has been reunited with its owner. But the tribal drum was beating for, "I'm a slave to my kid's stupid toy."
Boo-boo. Here's Tracy from Maroubra.
My son, at the age of 2, was obsessed with T-shirt material. We got on a plane, we went to Queensland to see family. And driving from the Gold Coast up to Brisbane, he decided to hang it out the window, and it blew out the window on the highway.
So the kids screamed all the way up the highway, all the way back. There's no way they could stop and look for it. Horrendous.
Quite the dedication from the kid, though.
Good set of lungs.
Righto, you two. That's enough.
Ugly Phil's up next, but WSFM's 5K No Repeat Workday.
How does this work?
Well, make sure you're listening to us, because if a song we play on our show between 6 and 9 is repeated before 6 p.m, you will win $5,000.
Okay.
So you have to know the songs we've played to see if one of them gets repeated.
We'll be back from 6 tonight for Jam Nation.
See you then.
Good day to you.
Well, thank God that's over.
Goodbye. Goodbye. Wipe the tears, baby, tears from your eyes.
Catch Jonesy and Amanda's podcast on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts. Jonesy and Amanda.
Jam Nation.
Podcast. Catch up on what you've missed on the free iHeartRadio app.